What up, everybody? Welcome to the Life Coaching with Ryan Book Club episode. God, what are we on right now? 14? Yeah, 14. We are talking Fxck Feelings by the Bennetts. We're doing a little Eff Serenity, which, if you were on the beginning of my stream, you heard me say has been a day. So this is a fantastic topic for today. So we're going to do Supercut Part 3, where it's not really a supercut, it's just my script to myself to condense the chapter, because there's a lot. And there is so much to love about this chapter, I cannot even explain it to you. I intentionally, before writing any of my notes, read and reread certain sections so that I could simplify it and again try to get themes that are consistent across all the subsections. All the subsections in this guy are: stop hating the ones you love, accept the inescapably annoying, face fear, heal heartache, and accepting enmity. I may have reworded a couple of these. I think it's the same exact wording, but anyway, in summary, the whole chapter boils down to learn to accept what you can't control, sometimes including your feelings, and make the best choice or choices you can. So, okay, done. Don't gotta worry about that no more. Peace out, see you later. But no! But wait, there's more, because that doesn't really get into the nitty-gritty. And even the nitty-gritty here, as before, my usual beef is I would love more practical strategies. I know this is meant to get someone into finding a coach or finding a therapist. Well, finding a therapist or psychiatrist really is the focus of this book. So let's break it down in the usual 3 sections. What you want and can't have, what you can aim for and actually achieve, and how you do it. Well, how you do it, how you approach it, but maybe not a lot of details, concrete actions you can take. So, what you want and can't have is the ability to change others or convince them to change so, they don't annoy you, especially loved ones. Good luck with that. A cure for irrational thoughts and emotions, and barring that, total, quick control of irrational thoughts and emotions. Also, good luck with that. An end to heartache, or at least the guarantee that you'll feel better. A way to ensure clear, positive communication. You are not in control of those things, so what can you aim for and actually achieve? Live with hate without hating yourself. Judgment without judging yourself. And we can expand that quite a bit. This goes down to an essential principle that I discuss, is if you judge yourself for judging, you're not ending the cycle of judgment. So step number 1 is to stop judging yourself for judging and accept that judging is natural. Once you've done that, it's like a gateway to stopping judging everyone else. I suspect it is similar with hate. Accepting that it's possible to hate someone gives you the opportunity to stop hating yourself, which gives you the opportunity to stop hating other people. Control your behavior even if you can't control your feelings. That is a theme for the ages. I.e., respect what it requires to live with fear, anger, depression, etc. Because again, if you're judging yourself for your struggle, you're adding more weight. The podcast that is out today, and hopefully will be soon on YouTube, I talk about that explicitly. Carrying the extra weight of shoulding on yourself is just really it's not doing it, kid. It ain't gonna work for you. You can stop emotion prolonging behaviors and challenge despairing thoughts. So if you are feeling grief, there's ways to accept grief and be with grief, and then there's things that keep you in grief perpetually. So stop that shit and choose something else. You can develop an interpersonal policy that allows reconciliation but doesn't beg for it. There's a difference between vulnerability when it's beneficial to the circumstance, and vulnerability where you just walk around with your chest cavity open, welcoming people to punch you in the heart, which is how I lived a fair bit of my life, so I kind of know what's up with that. So how do you approach these things? Respect and employ healthy emotional management. There are techniques out there if you're looking for something explicit that you could employ. Here's a three-parter. Remind yourself regularly of the reasons why you put up with annoyances. Develop your own rules for reducing annoyance and politely enforce them. And finally, keep track of and credit yourself for things left unsaid, behaviors controlled, etc. Give yourself some credit. If you don't give yourself any credit, you're not going to feel like you're doing any good. If you don't feel like you're doing any good, you're not going to continue the positive change that you're making. Surround yourself with ideas, friends, and advisors that lift you up. Don't hold others responsible for your shit, and don't hold yourself responsible for other people's shit. Something to consider. Takes a little time to sort out what's your shit when it's other people's shit, but you can work on it. And continue to take positive action regardless of how you feel, and respect the effort that requires. Again, if you don't acknowledge the small wins, if you don't acknowledge the progress you're making, you're not going to feel like making much progress. And that's especially true when you do things that don't feel good that you know will ultimately help you in the future. Celebrating that time you didn't scream in someone's face and call them an asshole, or didn't simply cower in the corner because you felt fear, or whatever it happens to be. When you take positive action despite of potentially overwhelming emotion, you got to credit yourself for it afterwards. There were 3 kind of sub-points that I wanted to highlight that I thought were particularly, if not unique, then generalizable or expandable into multiple arenas, even if not perfectly generalizable. One was don't link responsibility with emotions like grief without careful thought. I suspect this is in the context of perhaps moving on from someone's death or the loss of a relationship, that when there's a feeling of grief, sometimes we try to take responsibility for the situation over which we're experiencing the grief. And that's very dangerous, because that's like taking responsibility for something you had no control over. There are times when you may have made a bad choice, or an ineffective choice, or a choice that potentially caused harm, and that ended a relationship. That's a valuable time to take responsibility, to consider your actions in the context of what happened. Sometimes when someone calls you a dick, it's because you really were being a dick. It's okay to take responsibility for that. Which actually leads me to another one. Learn how to tell when a negative thought is lying to you and how to challenge it. This is kind of the flip side. Sometimes that evolutionary drive to be liked in order not to be rejected, in order not to be voted off the island, which could lead to death. We develop all of these messages, all these stories about how we are, who we are, how we need to change who we are in order to get what we need or what we want. And there's a process, which is actually something that I teach and work with my clients on, of how to sort out those thoughts. How valuable is that thought? Is it moving me forward? Because it's not just about, does it make me feel good? Because sometimes feeling bad is what helps us make good decisions. But is this thought serving me? How valuable is this thought? Etc. So you can process some of the negative thoughts, especially ones that are about how good you are or not as a human being. You can make bad decisions and be a good person. Or you don't even have to be a good person. We just don't have to ascribe all of our decisions to who we are in perpetuity. And lastly, there's a phrasing I disagreed with in the book that I wanted to highlight. There's this tendency to tell people, don't get discouraged. Okay? But I am discouraged. So fuck right off. That doesn't help. So I prefer to say, don't stay discouraged. Again, if you have an experience and you have an automatic thought about that experience and you assign meaning to it like, I'm a failure, you're going to feel discouraged. Oh no, too late, you're discouraged. Oh, now you failed again. Oh, you suck. It's not helpful. Don't stay discouraged. That's a choice you can make. Okay, now you're discouraged. You didn't catch it before it occurred. It occurred. Accept it. And now choose, from a place of accepting, to change it. So don't stay discouraged by hating yourself or others, by some other intense feeling in yourself or others. It's not a thing to dwell on. Be discouraged. Your partner said something that upset you, and now you're discouraged. You said something upsetting to your partner, and now you feel discouraged. Okay? When you're ready, seek a remedy. Again, not engaging in emotion-prolonging behaviors. All that said, what areas in your life right now are you struggling with serenity? Are you struggling to accept what is, or simply what you can't control, that's preventing you from taking positive action? I'd love to know that. So hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. I hope you have a fantabulous rest of your evening, and for some of you in other places in the world, I'm sure it's already quite late. I will catch you potentially Thursday. I'd like to do another one of these on Thursday. And yeah, more details later. Have a lovely night.